The press is finished.
I'm getting my leveling assemblies to a 0 position, so I can actually start from a 0 position to start leveling my pallets. Although I still got to find my height on my arm. Once I determine that and actually level my printhead, then I can do parallel with the pallet by the leveling assemblies, and I just want to make sure they're all somewhat in the relatively the same position. So I chose one arm, and I just make sure that's solid. Regardless, if it's pointing down, it's not level, obviously I'll make sure that it's kind of somewhat level, and then I use it to do my 4 points, north, south, east, and west, to make sure that center shaft, it's level. A lot of people use it level on top of the base. You know, I mean, that's one way.
Multiple ways
of doing it. I find it that if you go around, you can actually, with that diameter, you can actually make sure that that shaft is pointing true north and true south. And again, other technicians might use different techniques, you know? So.
It looks like a spider.
Looks like a spider?
The press does?
A mutant spider.
You are a real curious puppy, aren't you?
He likes to check everything out.
Okay, puppy. You're just a friend, aren't you?
He's helping.
Yeah, he is helping. So once I make sure that one side is, you know, leveled, I swing it around. So basically to the 4 points, you know, 12, 3, 6, and 9. North, south, east, and the west. So, and once I determine my 4 points, meaning that shaft should be truly north and south.
Nice.
And then now I can actually, I'll just double check that my 4 legs have weight on them, make sure that the feet are touching the ground, and that basically is leveling my index or base. Right now this printhead looks like it's actually pointing down, so I need to bring it up. So I need to actually shim the printhead underneath this platform here, and that should give me a perfectly level printhead. Most likely that's where the shims were, remember that we took off. And and this one's not too shabby, but I might put a smaller shim on there. Oh, remember this? Actually, this is the one that we left the shim on. This is number 3. Yeah, so see, they're all pretty much the same level, so I am gonna have to put those shims on there.
So what you're saying is you probably have to put those shims back and see where you're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this one's not too shabby either.
In which, to shim the heads, do you need to actually
remove that bolt and actually put it back in there? But at that point, what I do is actually cut me a piece of wood, and I'll take my bolt off and I actually just shove it in there and use it as leverage.
So that way you don't have to actually
take it off or whatever. So
gotcha.
Actually, it's not bad at all.
Do you have different thicknesses of shims?
Yeah, I actually come with this little different shims. I have a kit that comes with different sizes. Yeah, this one definitely needs a bigger shim. This one's the opposite, so we might have to shim the back on this one.
So I take it with leveling the heads and the shims to get them level, it doesn't really matter that that front bolt is in. Does that matter any, like once you torque it down a little bit?
No, because once you torque it down, you lock the actual printhead down with the shim. So
right.
It's not going to shift or anything like that.
I was just kind of thinking if, like say for instance, when you actually put a little bit of, like you put the bolt in there and torque it down, does it make it go down any, or is the head just heavy enough itself that it doesn't really make a difference?
Well, I torque it down just a touch to actually hold the printhead down. and then that'll actually show me if it's actually, because obviously, yeah, once you torque it down, it might, but it shouldn't deflect
Not
that much. Yeah.
Gotcha. So at this point, you have the base pretty much leveled, and you're just kind of locking everything.
Make sure
in.
that all the feet have weight on them, yes.
Manny's in the process of wiring the press up. I'm gonna stay out of his way for a little bit so that way he can get some work done, because I keep asking him a bunch of questions. And we're getting that much closer to him firing it up and just kind of testing things out, making sure he doesn't have to tweak or go back and tweak things. Look at that clean install by Manny. Nice job, dude.
Not yet. So this is my little Jimmy rig fishing cable.
Yeah, that's how the electrician ran the wire through. He had to push some wire through, tape it, like he electrical taped the crap out of it.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
then
much
just pulled it through.
what I do. And I got my electrical tape.
Hey, do you want some red electrical tape?
Ooh, red. There you go.
I do.
Slow, gentle. So that is my Jimmy rig.
There you go. It's a good way to do it.
It's called problem solving.
It is, definitely. Isn't that what life is all about?
Yes.
Problem
I always
solving.
said there's no problems, only solutions.
Exactly.
That is an excellent philosophy.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah?
I'm like, why are you staring at me? We'll see if that did the trick. Got the hose going down through the center of the press. Did have to do a little grinding because it's a pretty big hose in the end attachment, but it's raveled up underneath the press. We got it plugged in. And Manny's taking all the risk with the electricity over there.
I'm only gonna strip it back, you hook it up.
So the motherboard of the...
Well, there's a little computer in here. Touchscreen is all touchscreen and monitor is all one piece. So obviously you got your e-stop, you got your little fancy pen, your antenna for your Wi-Fi.
Oh, it's got Wi-Fi?
You got Wi-Fi, dude.
Man, I knew I could play Fortnite on this thing.
This is a little,
Just giving it a little bit of
love tap.
persuasion.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that it's almost time to fire it up?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're saying, Manny?
Voltage. Make sure she fires up. And she actually works.
Awesome.
Okay, do you want to get my meter?
You want me to flip the breaker?
Yes.
All right, it's time to kick the breaker on. If I can remember which one it is. Just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. That's not it.
Do we not have power?
Let me double check myself.
You want me to turn the other one on?
Yeah.
I probably might have put it in the wrong slot. All right, I'm gonna turn it on.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Look like a Windows icon to me. TV viewer. Oh, that's pretty cool. So that means I can drive the machine from across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, no air.
Yeah. It's a million times quieter.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have the airy system. I mean, the language system. You have the airy. Okay.
Yeah, it was a Windows when it fired up.
Yeah.
So is it the same thing or?
It's.
Well, I mean, not the same thing. Obviously, Linux is a different operating system, but
There.
is it what you're familiar with?
Yeah. There. There. Backwards shoot.
Oh, really?
See, I'm telling you.
Manny made a boo-boo.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to narrate this in a really quiet golf-like voice, so that way Manny can get stuff done. He's currently putting tape down the center of the pallets.
It requires a lot of silence.
And I imagine it's so he can center things up. Let's all watch quietly as he does his thing. So the idea is
Right
putting
now,
the center line, centering up the...
basically I want my pallet to be as parallel sidewise with my carriage.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want a carriage.
That's pretty genius. What wedding?
What?
Manny just left and he's made a lot of progress and it's looking really good. That's about it for today. We're going to get out of here, have to be here early to meet Manny so that way he can continue to fine-tune the press, and then around 1 or 2 tomorrow we'll get some training, which after talking to him and him showing me a handful of the features, I think it'll be a pretty short training session since I have quite a bit of experience on the other automatic, and this is just a really intuitive machine. So we're gonna get out of here and we'll see you in the morning. Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Good. It is bright and early and Manny is here to finish up the press, and then we're gonna do some training and we'll be off to the races. Are you done yet, Manny?
Not yet.
He says about another 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
About 6 hour setup time?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna study up a little bit more on the Aries operating system, make sure I got it down so I don't waste too much of Manny's time. Not that I'm wasting his time, but you know what I mean. So Manny's practically on the home stretch, is that right, Manny?
Yes, sir.
The flash is in place, it's wired up. Looks like he just probably needs to plug up the one cable. He's setting up the laser alignment or whatever you want to call it. What do you?
Laser. The laser for your...
Laser lights, right. Just for your pallets, that way you can make your prints and your alignment consistent. And then the safety bars, then it's a matter of me showing Manny how the operating system works.
Yep. I know how to put them together. I don't know how to use them.
No, he knows how to use it great. He's going to show me how to use it. But I think what will be interesting, since I did my homework, is what do you think about the idea of me just getting in there and saying, okay, this is that, this is how this functions, and then you can tell me whether or not I'm missing anything, because that might cut the training down to a very short amount of time so you can enjoy yourself a little bit.
I like that idea.
Okay, we're going to try
More
that.
benefits. So.
I can try that, yeah. And then you just let me know if I'm doing anything wrong.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool. Manny's giving her a wash and a wax, and he's going to top the tank off. Actually, a really cool screen printing hack is using WD-40 to wipe your press down with. And the benefits are, Manny, to make it easier to clean lint off later, and what else?
Yeah, basically it just helps you, leaves an oil residue on the machine, so then the adhesive and the lint doesn't get attached to the machine, so it just easily gets wiped down. And you know, I recommend it every maybe 6 months or so. You know, when you're not too busy, just wipe her down and give her a good wax with a WD-40.
There you go.
Just got to be careful not to spray the electronic components. I usually spray like on the outside or on a scrap rag and just wipe everything down. So.
Nice, good tip. Head 3. Then it will. Again, it will go back to where it came from.
It'll go there, and then I want to go ahead and go to pin number 9. It's not going to go all the way around, but it'll actually come up and then go back. So instead of actually going all the way around to get there, it's actually going to find the shortest distance.
Okay.
Say,
Makes sense.
yeah,
There's no point in going.
all the way around to do that. Your skip button, that is like, let's say you're loading.
Here.
Yes.
If we're going this
If
way.
we're going this way, if you're like, you don't have to take the shirt off. You just print it. You won't print that shirt all the way around. And when it comes to you, you just fix it.
Right. Which generally it sounds good, but if you don't have a shirt lettered on there properly and it's scrunched up and it goes and hits that screen.
Yeah. So you want to take a shirt off.
Yeah.
So that's your
Which
work.
is like, say for instance, for pacing it at 1,000 pieces an hour, you just completely miss it.
Yeah.
That's to me when it's
more
useful.
useful.
So we got plastic water base, which water base will compress it. This is just squeegee.
Yeah. It'll come up and do this stuff.
Front and rears to make it go back and forward. And aside from that, the flash, say, so we got our cord set. If I want to remove it, then I just hit print,
And it'll
vice versa for the.
And then it'll tell you to check what socket you have it in. So like right now, if I turn it into a printhead, it will turn into a printhead. When I want to turn it into a flash, touch it. It'll tell you you have it in socket 1. Say yes, and then it will turn into a flash.
Sounds good. The press is finished. So just toying around with it and playing with the operating system, this thing is just really easy to use, and it is so much quieter and nicer than the machine we had. I don't regret getting that Javelin that we had. It was definitely a great stepping stone. However, this is a huge step up, and I can't wait to start printing on it. I think what I'm going to do today is just straighten up, get ready for the jobs that we do have to print. I have to expose a bunch of screens, get our shirts organized, and then in our next video I will record me running off our first job and first prints. That'll be it for today, guys. Probably just gonna play with this thing a little more, and I'm probably going to do a lot of staring at it, just looking at it, soaking it in. Next video, I'll be running off a job, and as I get more familiar with it, I'll kind of show you how this thing works and what I think about it. But this far, I am super excited. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe so that way you can continue to follow me as I run off some jobs and just show you what this thing's capable of. I'm gonna find out what I'm capable of as well as far as getting art on the t-shirts. Well, I'm gonna get back to it. We'll see you in the next video.